Today is April 14, 2023. People are scatting, realizing how stupid they are and how much they've been fooled and used. I went to Shine today. I got the dates of 2021 of when, if you pull the car, my car's bugged, and it also tapes. September 23rd, 21 and October 15, 2021 should be one of those two dates that heavyset white guy with black hair, with glasses and dark eyes. He's white, black hair, black glasses. They call him Steve. He's probably the second stalker. They have a video of him walking by with another guy. Walks up behind Altworks, says something to a guy, and he runs out. If that's what you're going to do to her, I want nothing to do with this. You want the second stalker, you'll have a video of him. September 23rd, 21 or October 15, 2021. It should be that day. Okay. He's a wanted stalker from the police. Now, Will and Pete are playing people like a fool. Will and Pete, Agent Will from the Canton FBI, and retired Judge Pete both knew that police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life. Okay? And they have to speak to everyone before they start, or it's entrapment. It's a Fourth Amendment. Police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life, and they have to speak to everyone before they start. It's a legal search and seizure. It's 2 to 20 years. And it's not admissible. The police laugh at the scenario of anybody being in your home outside a protected life case with statements. They could never look or listen. See, that's where November 18, 22, Walmart 62, 2 to 6 p.m., Eric, the other stalker, wanted. Laughs at everybody that all the tapes before were me and not her. It was my idea to come up with it, my idea to say it, my idea to do it, for all these people to turn on her, and they actually fell for it. Ha, 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 ha. Well, if it was only you, I could come up. If it was only you, I could take care of it. I know it's that bad, and they still fell for it. Then I did November 24, 22, the nurse at Mercy Medical. We all heard that Eric make fun of us for falling for this. No one should say a word to her again. And then the lady Canton officer, well, the agent that bullied her into saying she was lying when she wasn't. See, Will's cover was he was a corrupt agent to infiltrate that gang. Where he needs to choose his words carefully. If he said that he knew that the Detroit boys where the churches took up $25,000 to have me murdered, he hired them to kick in my door, that he was part of them kicking in my door and vandalizing my property, stalking me. I was waking up with bruises the next week, almost passing out in front of people, that they were human trafficking me to that weird Steve. They said he was raping me. And I had giant bruises. I had sex with Dave all the time, so I didn't know I was being violated. And I couldn't figure out where all those giant bruises were coming from. And if he's beating me in my sleep, why am I not waking up? And then I would get dizzy on drinks and lay down and think, am I working too hard? And that's what my family thought. You were bruising too easy and working too hard. Nobody knew they were date rape drugging me. But then it makes more sense because I was fine before and I worked just as hard at Lennox. And I wasn't that sick and I wasn't getting banged up. And I had orange, lemon, and grapefruit sized bruises everywhere. So he wants to say he knew that a cult hired that gang to break my house, stalk me. That they photoshopped a shower scene in the other room to make me look weird. They admitted that. And they date rape drugged me and told me say stuff. And he was human trafficking me. He wants to say he was an accessory and had knowledge of that occult hiring that gang to do that to me. And beat me all summer long and kept me drugged up randomly. And I didn't know why I was sick and what on earth was wrong with me. And I almost passed out even outside in front of the neighbors. And I was fine before we moved up there. I even thought, is the well water so bad if I wash my hands in it? Is it making me sick just even washing my hands in it? We didn't drink it or cook it with it. We used bottled water, but I couldn't figure out why I was so sick. So is he saying that he broke the Fourth Amendment, the 6th and 7th, and he was part of that gang, date rape drugging me, human trafficking me, photoshopping me, so that he could live a life of crime for 4 years and access that gang? That he was part of it, knowing they were hurting a private citizen to set up this big scam. Choose his words carefully, because the Department of Justice would never condone an agent taking advantage of a private citizen like that. and didn't stop a gang and a cult from doing it. He has a criminal law degree to be an FBI agent. Retired Judge Pete has even a higher degree because he used to be a judge. And he would know that nothing they have is admissible outside a protected life case with statements, because the police laugh at that they couldn't even look or listen. Because even the FBI couldn't be in your home. Because if they could be in the home, they'd be in the mafia's homes. They'd be in the drug dealers' homes. President Nixon couldn't even buck an office. He got impeached and almost went to jail. And he was president. And it was an office. He almost went to jail. Remember Watergate? See, they can only be in a home watching you under a threat of life. They're scamming everybody. He can't say he had prior knowledge that they were framing me before. They admitted framing me March 24, 22, 1/1/30. You framed her before? Yeah, we framed her before. Shame on you. I know, I wish we wouldn't have did it. Those people even raped her. Or I got tortured in protective custody. Nor would they ever condone an agent to not tell an informant that it's not just an occult threat in your life and your husband. That it's actually they hired a really bad gang. And we need to get you out of here and hide you. But we're gonna leave you in there and let them abuse you, date rape, drug you, bash your skull in, try to shoot you driving, hide on a shooting night. Human traffic people out of this area while they're doing that to me. Drug the hell out of me so I lost 70 pounds. Rape and torture me. Sell the login to the protected custody case. Sell police information. They would never condone any of that. For him just to infiltrate a gang. He may have got almost 900 of them. But I'll tell you what. The first month he could have got 200 of them. There was the Kingsmen from Texas. There was the Florida plates here. The Detroit boys were here. There was a gang from New York, and the New York gang were mad. They would yell at those people, "Don't you ever make Karen cry. She doesn't know what's going on." And I thought, what's going on? See, they knew I didn't know. I was just this pawn. His cover was he was a corrupt agent in debt to them for gambling problems, and he was letting them hurt me to pay them back. He better not say he was prior knowledge that he was doing all this with them before, knowing nothing would be admissible. And he was letting them hurt a private citizen that bad and didn't hide him and find a different way to get to him. Because he would know nothing they had is admissible. And he would know about the shower scene in the other room. March 2nd to the 3rd, 21. My car is bugged 8 to 10:30 at night. They said they were going to put 2 clips together, put her in a porn. It's not her, it's them. Don't worry about her. They were going to make a scene dirty. Then March 13, 21, nurse at Mercy Medical, they told her the only thing that they had on you was adjusting yourself. I'm like, what? She said, and the guy said, "That's sick." She said, "No, it's really funny. She just simply wiped off some water with clothes on." He said, "That's sick." She said, "No, it's really funny. They didn't have anything else." She had no wrongdoing, no wrong saying, nothing. Okay? She said, "It's really funny." That's all they had. She had nothing. Beat that one. Then all of a sudden they said, "You're weird with yourself." I thought, "You're weird with yours." Then they said, "You expose yourself, you touch yourself, you're weird with yourself." I thought, that never happened. Then I thought, well, you put my head on somebody else's body. It's 2 clips together, put her in a porn. It's not her, it's them. Okay? And then I got to thinking, well, what would you be doing? You touch yourself, you expose yourself, you're pulling your pants down. You touch yourself, it looks like you're weird, but you're not. You'd be putting yeast infection cream on, or you'd be washing. It's undressing and getting in the shower and washing, right? Showering, right? I go outside to smoke. She figured out what they did. Ha 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 ha. My car's parked. You can pick up 2 parking lots away. May 12th, 22. We found a tape of those boys admitting a shower scene in the other room. May 12th, 22, Bubba's Restaurant. 6-8 men screaming at it. May 26th, 22, my phone's bugged. The shower scene in the other room was done on purpose to make you look weird with yourself. Ed at the Oakland apartment, December 9th, 21, 4 p.m. Everything was drugged and photoshopped. All the tapes before were them and not her. And what's going on? It's just a group of men doing as many crimes as they can to see if someone will stop them. December 9th, 21, white man Bob with dark eyes, distributing food at the Stark County Hunger Task Force on 9th Street. Was one of my security guards. Came out. There's only 4 or 5 volunteers. Can't found him. Said, we always knew the tapes before were them but not her, so we never said a word. By Christmas of 21, 2 investigators are there. We're mad that man knew they did all this to her before and didn't say a word, and it's some man named Eric trying to help him get away with it, and we don't know who he is yet. November 24th, 21, 8:40 a.m. I'm in Maslin Altman Hospital Stat Care with the client, and a Maslin officer comes in a uniform. I'm here to watch her. There's a Steve and Eric stalking her, and we don't know who they are yet. And it's finally got funny after everything they did. Nothing's admissible. No, it's not. And Will would know that. And Pete, they're playing these people. Okay? My one client on Shepler Church Road, her next door neighbor, in March of 22, they told her everything was drugged and photoshopped and made up on me. She told the Canton police and investigators. March 24th, 22, 1:30. You framed her before? Yeah, we framed her before. Shame on you. I know. I wish we wouldn't have done it. Those people even raped her. My one client on Turquoise Street, they yelled outside. The neighbors, we all heard that bastard admit to framing you. January 1922, Department of Disability. They told them I was drugged and told to say something before, and it set off Canton again. They started following me around. By the end of January, one of the Canton officers, he drives a dark gray vehicle with blacked out windows. I think it's Lamar, because there's Lamar Sharp and Michael Broswell and Michael that worked at CSE Bank. They knew who was in my protected custody case, September 27th, 18. And with a white SUV lady said, but did you get a hold of Ed? Did you get a hold of the guy at the Hunger Task Force? Were those officers involved? They want to know if my security team was involved. They've been telling people since June last year to stay out of this. They already knew the tapes before were them and not me, and they were looking for who actually did it. May 25th, 21, 6 p.m., Wendy's crew in Louisville of the church people breaking in before drugging me and telling me to say weirdo stuff. Or I was getting sick on drinks and waking up with bruises to drugging me. 8/9/21, the apartment building for me, second close defense right out. Dave talked to the police a few days later, even though he defends me in front of the police in the investigation, and I taped him. It's the same thing as they got. Karen, you're good to the kids, you're good to the grandkids. They said he roofied me and told me to say something stupid too. Okay? 1295 Fairlawn Middle apartment, screamed at him and talked to several people in 21. There was an African American lady in October of 21. Said she was going to extort money out of the toxic water scene, the shower scene in the other room. She showed up November 2nd, 3rd, 21 at Save-A-Lot. No one better say a word to her. I found out they made everything up, and it was all them, and they that it was all them and not her. And they made everything up, and it was them. And she told everybody everything was photoshopped. My one client, I was out with him on February 2nd, 22, Burlington Coat Factory. Some guy personally admitted to drugging me and telling me to say stuff. People ran and Save-A-Lot out of their houses on 6th Street. Oh my goodness, they admitted to drugging her and telling her to say it before. He's like, Karen, this is crazy. And I said, who's crazy? And I'm trying to ignore this whole insane situation. He's like, these people, they admit to drugging you and telling you to say stuff before, and they admit to raping you in front of people in stores. I'm like, stay out of it. I'll tell the police. They have been telling people everything was photoshopped on me since 21. See, Will would never want to say that he was participating in this before I called the hotline. Before he listed me an informant, they couldn't even be in my home. It'd be illegal. It's entrapment. Even a local officer, even the FBI couldn't be in your home outside a protected life case with statements. They go to jail. That would make him an accessory to drugs, kidnapping, human trafficking, rape, and photoshopping that scene to embezzle money so that he could go live a life of crime for 3 years with those human traffickers. That he purposely did this, and he knew nothing was admissible. He would have had Terry's phone call where I didn't hang up, and I thought I was getting Dave's girlfriend. Instead, I got, guess who was on the phone with? You're kidding. I almost tricked her into coming down to prayer with those 2 guys to show up and take care of her. It's not like anybody in the church would ever help her. You know, they pay people to know where she's at. I could have used the money. And the other girl insults Kaylee, and then I said, well, you know who was in that meeting to hire those 2 men to kill her? It was Keith Bishop Strange and Ron, and they took up $25,000 to hire 2 men to kill her because Ron wants her dead because while the youngest kid died, they'd have her nailed. They would have been following me around, had Katie telling her Sarah and Sarah's old manager and co-worker that our church had been trying to have me killed, and they had a permanent plan to do away with me. They would have been following me around and had the Detroit boys as kidnapper at Huntington Bank threatening to knife me, and the Pizza Hut lady getting paid to watch me. And he would have grabbed him, right? And he would have had him nailed. Because otherwise it makes him an accessory. He needs to choose his words carefully because they're playing you. They could not have had any knowledge of what you people did to me before. And they know that none of it's admissible. And then on top of it, they know it was photoshopped and date rape drug before. And these people have these people now. They have Dave September 3rd to 5th of 18 outside that him and Jack had a plan since March because I wouldn't give up everything willingly. September 21st to 18 outside the house at the end of the driveway. My girlfriend's rich and powerful. Her family owns a place you won't be able to withstand. And September 20th or 21st at 3 a.m. I love you, but I love her more. I hired 2 men. I hired a man to kill you, one to slit your throat, stab you in the heart, you'll bleed out, Karen. I'm so sorry, Karen, you have to die for us to get everything. I love you, but I love her more. But I got a man to put a bullet in and run. He tried to claim it was a vivid dream. He was very much awake for 30 minutes. He held me down how I'm to die for his girlfriend. And in the first 45 days, I almost got shot in the head driving. That makes him responsible. So he had him nailed, right? And he arrested him, right? They're playing these people. He used my case to infiltrate the gang. Just like when I called him, I tried to tell him what happened at Huntington Bank. Was there a camera above you? I don't know. I tried to get away from him. He's my kidnapper. The guy tried to kidnap me, tried to carjack me, threatened to knife me. I got away from him. I don't look for no fucking camera. And I try to stay alive. He's like, well, if you don't know if there's a camera, you better say you're lying or I'll arrest you. Badgering laws, Department of Justice, 1729. You have to take a victim or a witness or informant statement if you believe him or not and follow through, you go to jail. It's obstruction of justice, tampering with evidence, and tampering with witnesses, you go to jail. 5 to 20 years. He's like, say it or else I'll put you in jail. It's like, fine, whatever. Threatened to arrest me, made me plead for my life, listed me informant, diplomatic immunity in life, $5,000 money in life. But if you tell someone unless you're crazy, no one will help you. Failure to protect is abuse and misconduct. He can't list me crazy. He can't put a gag order on me. He's not a sitting judge. And he can't list me crazy. He's not a psychiatrist. He was bullying me to stay quiet so he could infiltrate that gang and put the persona that he was a rogue agent and that to him, and he was going to help him steal the money. Well, so he could get the human traffickers. And he got almost 900 while he let them drug me, bash my head in, rape, torture, human traffic me on my back. He better get my informant money. And he better not say he was part of what they were doing to me before, because the Department of Justice wouldn't even condone him letting me get hurt like that. I'm not a trained agent. I'm a little old lady that thought, well, she was just facing an occult threatening her life and trying to harm her. Not a major gang. They need to make it up big time, and they need to help the victims of the ones that have been taken. We all have the same story of the same people, and he got over 200. See, the New York gang that was here, somebody was mean to me and I was crying, and I heard him yell at him, don't you be mean to Karen and make her cry. She don't know what's going on. And I thought, what's going on? There's a New York gang here. There was a Detroit boys. There was a Florida plates. There was a Kingsman from Texas. There was a North Carolina, Georgia plates. And they were drug trafficking right on 62 at the stoplight, passing great big packages back and forth. There was over a 2-mile-long brigade of drug traders and human traffickers around me. He could have had a fleet of agents arrest them. He could have been a hero, and nobody would have been taken. He would have solved the one girl from my second job, her murder. They had her family member's murder. They had already killed her. The same people. We all have the same story of the same people. They took Merlisa's niece. They tried to grab Kara. They took the girl at the ATM. Was one of the groups where they sold the log into the protected custody case, was following me around in the mall. They took her. They took a 5'3", 135 blonde girl. They kept saying they were looking for a little 15-year-old kid. People have been taken out of this area. He's arresting them, but people have been taken. And he better not say that he was part of that occult in that gang before. It's bad enough what he let happen to me.